Hey, welcome to Geek Speak TV Live. I'm Patrick. Joined with me, as always, Abigail.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Excited. Pokemon Go is the focus of our show today, and yeah, it's been quite a week of Pokemon for me, at least I can say, and I know around the country, um, I'm not alone because it's like a global phenomenon. You asked me to look up the actual downloads, which I didn't. I was too busy caught up on the fact that it became #1 within like 5 hours, like the most downloaded app, like the highest grossing app, and all this other stuff. And yeah, it's amazing. So you actually
I just downloaded it last night, and I just finally got it working because for whatever reason it didn't like my phone, and I caught like 6 Pokemon within the last 40 minutes.
I'm jealous because we're here at my studio / home, and I cannot catch any Pokemon in my home. It's like the most un-Pokemon infested house ever created.
To be fair, I use incense. I just used one of my incense things.
Yeah, and so like this show is going to be all about Pokemon and, tips and tricks and how to play the game and our review as we're going along. Incense is one of the things that you get when you first start the game. They give you 2, and just so you guys know, this is one of those rare items that sometimes you tend to like blow through because like, oh cool, it attracts Pokemon to me. But you get one like every couple of levels, and then otherwise you can buy them in like they have like a store option where you can spend real world money. And we were just talking about this.
It's expensive, man.
It's like penny for penny. So something that's 100 gold Pokemon coins.
It's $1.
That's $1. So yeah, and
be careful, man. You're gonna blow through all your cash in like 2 seconds if you're not careful.
It's so funny because there's so much going on in the world because of this app already that they're gonna have to like. I don't know if you know about Korea. I used to work for a South Korean company, and called NCSoft, and in Korea they actually have laws on video gaming, like when you can play certain games, when you can actually log on to play games because of the bandwidth restrictions that they have.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And so, like already happening, we have accidents, we have all kinds of stuff going on. We'll talk about some of that stuff later on the show.
Yeah, Pokemon Go is just insane right now. Everyone's playing.
Before we get into the meat of this, let's cover our usual Weekend Geek. Do you have anything that happened this week in Geek that you want to talk about?
I finally saw Finding Dory.
I still haven't seen that. Funny fact about Finding Dory. What'd you think?
I loved it. It was great. It was also
Did
helps
you cry?
out. No, I didn't. But
Did you want to?
No, to be fair, I was with my boyfriend, so I was a tad bit distracted.
Okay, I looked that way, so I hopefully missed hand gestures or something.
No. Oh, come on, man.
Right on. So you saw most of Finding Dory.
No, I saw all of it, but
okay, so you held it in because you didn't want to cry in front of the boyfriend. Is that what it was?
No crying.
She was being
Boys
strong.
don't like crying girls. It makes them most of the time it makes them uncomfortable.
No,
from what I know.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. But you feel free to cry on a date if you're a girl or a guy. Show your emotional side. As long as it's healthy emotion.
Yeah.
If you're just crying for no reason, then that's kind of scary. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
What?
Yeah, if you dropped your cup of coffee and start crying, that's not good. But like if Nemo dies, or I haven't seen the movie, don't spoil it for anything. I don't know. It's okay to cry. So, but you loved it.
Yeah, it was great. It's worth the wait. And I'm now excited because they're going to do Incredibles 2 in a year or 2 from now.
Sweet. Which is the best Fantastic Four movie ever made.
Yes, yes, it is. That's one of the movies that got me into superheroes. So yeah. Okay.
Awesome. So speaking of animated movies, The Secret Life of Pets came out on Friday and is amazingly took in $38 million on Friday.
I was not sure how that was going to be. I haven't seen it yet, but considering I've heard really good reviews about it, so I'm thinking about going and seeing it.
It's projected to make $96 million this weekend, which will make it the biggest animated feature opening of all time.
Yeah. Sorry, Finding Dory.
Yeah, it's going to be about Finding Dory, projected by $6 million if it's going the way that it's going right now. And the soundtrack I hear is amazing. So I haven't seen the movie yet. I probably will. But another thing about Finding Dory, it passed up Captain America: Civil War in box office total.
Well, Disney's just raking it in. They don't care.
So yeah, man. So if you look at it, it's two animated films that are making bank against a big time tentpole, Marvel superhero
I'm
laden
liking
movie.
this. I'm really liking this. There's this huge animated revival that's going on right now, and I love it.
Well, hopefully it continues. Good job animating movies and children and
It's like a
children.
Children movies for adults are the best thing.
Well, I think Finding Dory is very much like we were talking about on a previous show that I saw that when I was, I think, maybe 20.
Yeah.
I was still pretty much young.
I ended up talking to a couple of kids after I saw it, and they were born after Finding Nemo came out, but they'd seen it a gajillion times, and they love Finding Dory.
Shark bait. Me and I remember seeing that. I was in college still, and I saw it with 4 other college mates, and we were studying animation and film and all that good art stuff. So we went all serious, we're gonna watch this movie and break it down animation style, and we were sitting there cracking up the whole time. And when the shark bait, we would not shut up during the movie. We were worse than the damn kids. We were sitting there, shark bait, and cracking up. People were laughing at us because we were having so much fun with that. But sorry if you guys were in that theater with us that day. But yeah, I definitely can't wait to see Finding Dory. So back to Pokemon Go, because this has been the talk of the town. It came out the night of July the 6th.
And it's literally invaded my entire social media.
It's kind of weird because I had checked on it a couple of weeks ago because there's a link on our website because they have an actual independent Pokemon Go thing you can buy at GameStop. So go to our website, on our homepage, there's a link. You can go click to GameStop. You can buy this thing. It's like $30. So if you don't want to use your phone, I think you can use this device, and it does the same thing that the phone does. Haven't looked too much into it. I just put the link up there to hopefully get some people who are interested in Pokemon Go. So that was a month ago. I checked on that, and then one of my good friends, her name's Jennifer on Facebook. She's a big Poke addict, and she was the first one to say, "I'm trying to download Pokemon and it won't work." And I'm like, "What?" Got on that, downloaded that night, and the first night I went to the park, which is right around the corner. There's a Pokemon gym. We'll talk about that in a second, what those are. The Pokemon gym at the local park, and there was already crowds of people standing in chunks looking at their phones. And I knew exactly what they were doing because that's my park where I go walk Kylo, and there's never anybody there. So, yeah.
Pokemon Go doing what Michelle Obama couldn't do for 8 years.
Right? That is so awesome. I have that meme for you guys later. You guys gotta check that out. It is so funny because it's true. I have walked... and I actually have stage 4 arthritis. That's not a secret. I walked 10 kilometers since Pokemon Go has come out, and I'm like, no wonder my back's hurting so much. Because
I'm gonna start murdering my phone battery whenever I go for my runs.
So you guys know, when it comes to battery, it goes about 40 to 60 minutes on a full charge if you're just running the Pokemon app.
Yeah, because
so beware.
You have to keep your phone on, and it can't be on lock screen or anything like that. You have to be actively aware.
Yeah, it does not track when the phone is asleep or when it's off. Now, there's a battery saver mode in the game that puts your phone, I believe it puts your phone to sleep, the screen to sleep, but it keeps the app running in the background. So the second you touch your phone, it'll come back on, and it'll notify you either audio or it vibrates that there's a Pokemon present. So that saves a little bit more battery, but you're still... If you're going to go on a hike, take a backup battery charger with you.
Yeah, backup charger or something.
You don't want people getting lost hiking, playing Pokemon Go.
Or for hiking, a nice little... Because they have solar panel chargers, which would actually work great right now in the summer.
Because, there's a story that we have, and let me see, actually. Well, the funny thing is, this is one of the warnings that you get on Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it's the first thing when it loads up.
Remember to be alert at all times of your surroundings. And the reason why I put that screen up there is because there was a girl in Wyoming who was out looking for Pokemon near water sources and came up on a dead body. Yeah, she found a dead body. So, and beware of your surroundings. Don't fall off a cliff. Don't run into traffic or anything like that, because there's another story here. We actually brought a clip up from the website that I saw it on. Pokemon Go highway accident. A man stops in the middle of a highway to catch a Pikachu.
Listen, Pikachu's awesome, But he's not that awesome.
And you know what, dude? They're not that rare. I mean, I've seen Pikachus. Now, I was doing a lot of research for this game, so I live close to a good bus line and subway in Los Angeles. So I took the subway all the way into Universal Studios, and I was able to see as I'm driving by all the Pokemon that are in the different areas. And I saw Charizards, I saw Pikachus and Raichus, I saw every kind of Pokemon you can imagine all over the place. So I don't think there's anything out there that's super rare. It's just the point of the game is to get you out and traveling, and that's kind of what I was talking to Abigail about earlier. Was that one of the cool things are these Pokemon stops, and Pokemon stops are, just for you guys who don't know, in the game. There are landmarks that are throughout their city that uses Google Maps. So when you get close to them, you actually see an image of what you're looking for. So it could be anything from like a historical statue to a significant landmark, and in one case right here, it's a local park sign.
Chances are there's plenty in your hometown that you haven't noticed.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing is because I, in my own neighborhood, have found all kinds of different ways to get to different places because of Pokemon Go, because it actually shows you, little shortcuts and things to like cut through my neighborhood. And yeah, be careful where you're standing though, because when I was outside the first night looking for Pokemon, I realized that I was so entrenched in my phone that I was standing outside of somebody's house looking at their house.
Oh,
at 11:30 at night, and I'm like sitting there and I'm doing this thing, and then I can feel somebody looking at me, and I look up and like they're looking at their window like watching me. I'm like, I gotta move because I'm gonna get busted for being a pokey stalker. So yeah, I could see things like that happening. And the funny thing about the guy in the accident that happened in Boston, he admitted to the cops that he was trying to catch a Pikachu. Other people who were involved in the accident also admitted that they were also playing the app while they were driving. So it started this whole...
Don't use your phone while you're driving. Use the hands-free mode or something.
There's a hashtag, which I hope you're not tweeting either or while you're driving, or Instagram while you're driving. Don't Pokemon Go and drive is the official hashtag that's sprung up now. Because...
Oh, God bless Twitter.
Peoples, come on.
Common sense is apparently not very common.
Pokemon and drive, please. Okay, so we talked earlier a little bit about Pokemon gyms. Now, I didn't capture any footage because I didn't want us to get banned off of YouTube right away, because this is a lot of cool stuff that we're sharing with you guys. Pokemon gyms there are specific locations throughout your city that have actual other people go there, and if you register your Pokemon there, you fight against other people's Pokemon, and you climb the ladder, and if you become the first person, the highest CP is the combat points that basically your strength of your Pokemon. If yours has the highest combat points, you'll be the gym leader. So you'll see your actual avatar with your name and your Pokemon there, and you'll run that gym for your team. So the red, blue, yellow team who can control that gym. So there's no actual fighting back and forth yet between players. And the gym battles are a little funny in the sense that there's no rhyme or strategy. It's basically tap their Pokemon as fast as you can and dodge with your Pokemon.
Which I'm sure they'll add more stuff in later on.
There's plans to develop this later on, and let me be official here. And it's developed by Ingress and Nanotech Labs, and the Pokemon Company are the developers of this game. And there are talks about making it combat turn based, like the old Pokemon game was.
I'm pretty sure they were just crunching on a deadline.
Well, they're having trouble getting this game out. It was supposed to be out, I believe, 4 months ago. And so it just
to be fair, this is like one of the most complex apps I've seen in a while.
It's pretty awesome. I love it. I mean, you got the what's it called? The AR, augmented reality function of the game, which is basically it uses your camera's phone and you put in at real world objects and you'll see the Pokemon appear. Now, for those like me who don't want to drain their battery and clog up their phone and lag out, I turn AR off. So it just gives you like an old school animated Pokemon screen, and you can actually catch a Pokemon that way. And
but it's kind of cool when you do have the battery, because I've seen people taking like screenshots at gas stations or restaurants or in their own bedroom.
That is pretty cool. I do enjoy that. And one other tip about Pokemon catching. You'll notice that there's rings that come...
Yeah, there's this little green ring that shrinks.
Well, actually, the color of the ring, I found out, depends on the strength of the Pokemon. So there's green, which means easy, orange, which means it's medium, and yellow, means it's difficult. I haven't seen a red yet, so I guess there would be a red.
There might be.
There might be. Who knows?
I've only seen green and yellow so far.
Yeah, I've seen orange. I believe my pincer was an orange, and he was like a high C. He had like 500 CP combat, which is pretty high.
The highest I have is like 56.
Yeah, so he was a hard one to catch. So the bigger the circle, the easier it is to catch. The smaller the circle, the more difficult it is to catch.
So you wait for the circle to be big.
Yeah, wait for it to get big. And then there's also a thing called the curveball, which I do by accident. I didn't know I was doing it. If we hold down the Pokeball, it'll start to spin, and then you release it, and it'll have a curve to it, and it gives you more experience points when you catch the Pokemon. So it's
the more you know.
Right. Now, let's say you're like me and are cursed with a bunch of Pidgeotos and nothing but Pidgeotos in your area. And you got nothing but Pidgeotos. What are you going to do with all these Pidgeotos? You can actually do something with them, and I actually made a little movie on how to do this, because in order to level up your character, and take a look at this, we'll take a look at what the screenshot actually looks like. So if you see here, if you notice it says Charmander Candy and Evolve and Power Up. Well, you need Candy to make your Pokemon stronger and to evolve your Pokemon. So in order to do that and get more Candy, you have to catch more of that type of Pokemon, which can get tedious. You need to catch 50 Charmanders to evolve it. You can also trade and transfer your Pokemon. So if you get duplicates, so let's say you have...
Because you don't want, 50 million of the same Pokemon.
Exactly. So right here, if you see on this screen, at the very bottom, it says transfer. You hit the transfer button. It'll ask you if you're sure you want to do this. And then once you hit yes, it'll go to transfer. So you got a Candy. Yay! And so that's what you do when you want to get rid of your duplicates. You can...
just get Candy.
Get Candy. And what you can use later to power them up, make them stronger, or
so we're now using our little dogfight Pokemon and selling them for candy?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
What are we teaching our children?
Why you gotta make it like that, man? Here's a little Poke tip. Now, let's say if you notice on the bottom right-hand corner of your Pokemon screen, it says there's a little Pokemon thing. You click on that, and it shows nearby Pokemon. Now, I thought that it meant, these are what nearby. The actual feet print means something. Footprints.
Can you literally even?
The foots. Each one is 100 meters. So if there's 3, it's about, the Pokemon is roughly 300 meters away from you. And you'll see as you're walking around that it gets... I almost tried to click on that like it was an app.
Oh my gosh.
As you walk and get closer, it'll go down to 2, and then to 1, and then it'll disappear when the Pokemon's about to attack. So that's a little hint for you on tracking. It's like a Pokemon tracker for you. What else is there about Pokemon that we should also talk about? There's the thing about the eggs. Have you noticed the eggs yet?
No, I've literally been playing this for 40 minutes.
That's right. When you go to these Pokestops, you spin this little wheel, and it spits out potions and revive things that you can use for your Pokemon when you need to heal them. But it also spits out eggs. And you take these little eggs, and they're kind of cute. They look like that, and you have this little incubator, and you click on the incubator thing, and you start the incubation cycle. And if you walk that amount of kilometers, you'll basically hatch a Pokemon later.
That's cool.
Yeah, so far I've gotten like a Rattata and a Charmander. So it encourages you to get out there and walk again. There are some people who are fortunate, and their houses are, they're fortunate, and their houses are infested with Pokemon. But I actually have to get out there and walk.
I'll find out when I get back to my house. I haven't had a chance to play it at my place yet.
Really? Well, it's like I said, it's a good thing, because I was out and I saw families out there with their kids that definitely weren't out there before.
Yeah, I've seen people going for their runs with the Pokemon app on, and I've seen it's just a lot of people now getting out. Hopefully walking. Sometimes they're driving, but at least you're getting out and looking around, seeing parts of your town you hadn't seen before. Oh, and beware. Use common sense when you're using this app. If there's a really rare Pokemon or whatever in a sketchy area, just don't.
Yeah, safety first. I mean, I've got Kylo, so he's protecting me.
Oh yes, little Kylo is going to protect you from
he's a bad man. So we'll go out on walks like at midnight, and I have a pretty nice neighborhood, so it's safe to do that. But use your best judgment when you're out there. Um, and like I said, you can do. I actually saw this when I was on a walk. People were in their cars, driving around. And the reason why I know because they were going so slow and they had their windows down and the guy had both I guess his girlfriend and his phone side by side and he was doing all the Pokemon catching and she was yelling at him.
Oh
So
god, just ride your bike or something. Your
remember,
skateboard.
guys, the point is to get out and walk. So you don't really want to cheat that badly. But like I said, when I was on the subway, I was able to do what I later found out on the online forum. It's called the drive-by Pokemoning.
Drive-by. Yeah, that
like,
doesn't sound negative or.
Not even. Yeah, and you can hit the landmarks as you're on the LA subway. I was able to hit a couple of landmarks as we were passing them because we were going slow enough to do so. So yes, you can technically use it in your car, but make sure you're not the one driving.
Yeah,
or
no.
At least be on the
Eyes
bus.
on the road.
Here, I pulled some awesome memes that I saw online that I just made me chuckle, and so I thought I would share these with you before we wrap up today's show. Yeah.
We still got 9 minutes, dude.
I took Michelle. Yeah, we talked about that. Everyone after a week of Pokemon Go. Pokemon got me stalking neighborhoods like Michael Myers. I like that one too. And that's one of my favorites. Yeah, so so what else do you have to say about Pokemon? As far as your first reactions to it, because like I said, you just been playing for the last hour.
It's interesting because I never played anything on a DS, despite the fact that when I was younger, my parents can tell you that I was addicted to my DS.
But you didn't play Pokemon?
Nope, I didn't play Pokemon. All my friends were into it.
What'd you play on your DS?
Mario. I like the little Nintendogs.
Nintendogs.
What else did I play? I liked Mario Kart.
See, Nintendogs is like Pokemon, except not.
Yeah, and then I liked. What else did I like? Frick, I played a lot of games on there, but I can't. Oh, I like the little Professor Layton and like the mental exercise ones.
But not Pokemon. That's surprising because I've gotten DSs just to play Pokemon. Yeah, and then when the DS breaks down or you don't want it anymore and you sell it, I still have 3 of my DS cartridges that I was not gonna sell.
I still have 2 DSs and multiple games that I haven't played in forever.
Well, the thing about the Pokemon DS cartridges that anybody who's a big Pokemon fan will know is when you go to EB Games or GameStop or wherever they're called now, EB Games shows my age. If you try to buy a used Pokemon game, they're really pricey. Most old resale games are $10-15. The Pokemon games are still $45-$55 because of all of the information that's on the game. So people sell them with their actual characters leveled up and stuff like that. So that actually has a monetary value at GameStop. So you buy this, they'll tell you, oh, this cartridge right here has a level 57 this or whatever level that. So you're actually buying someone else's time that they invested into the Pokemon game.
Interesting.
Yeah, right? And that goes to show, I wonder what's going to happen with the microtransactions with this game. Because like we said, they're kind of expensive. And there's some things like incense that drops so rarely that comes in handy. Which is one of those things that attracts Pokemon to you for, what was it, half an hour?
Yeah, for half an hour I got 6 Pokemon.
That's not bad. That's not bad. There's a thing called, I just saw it and it dropped when I got level 8 or whatever. It's called a Poke Module, which you can attach to one of those Pokestops. And it attracts Pokemon for not only yourself, but for everybody in the area. So it's kind of one of those community things that the game is doing, which I'm really curious to see what the future holds when it comes to Pokemon Go and, what they can do. And I really hope they fix that battle
Make it a little more interesting because the entire point of catching them and evolving them is so you can battle them.
It's a bummer to tell you the truth. That's the biggest bummer of it all. I think is the gym battles because it's got the potential to be good. It's all there. It's just why didn't they make it turn based? I just don't understand that. And here's another little tip for you: your Pokemon all have a special move that builds up over time. So as you're battling, your landing hits, this little blue meter will start to fill. When it does fill up, the way you activate your special move, because there's no writing on this, it took me a while to figure it out, you have to hold down your finger onto the screen where the Pokemon is, and holding it down will activate.
As much as I hate instructions, I think they could have put a little bit more into there.
Yeah, Nintendo's known for doing that kind of stuff, though, especially when it comes to games like Pokemon. They like to leave the community out there to kind of
Figure it out.
And that's why I thought it would be a good idea for us to do this Pokemon show right away, because there's a lot to go on in this awesome world of Pokemon. And as you can see, I mean, we just had, 48 hours with the game and discovered so much with it already.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're going to unleash more.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about what we're up to next week, the conference coming up.
Yeah, we're going to be. We won't have any pictures or audio right away because there's what's called an embargo, which will prevent us from sharing anything on social media or anything. But we're going to be at the Star Trek Beyond press conference.
Yes, I'm very excited. It's my first press conference.
Her first press conference. It's going to be one of my favorites because there's going to be a lot of cool people slated there. So far, Simon Pegg, Chris Pine, just to name a few. Yeah, so that'll be, so we'll have hopefully some information on that on our next podcast if we can. If not, then as soon as we possibly can, as soon as they lift that embargo on us. But we'll more information on that as the week progresses. So again, have fun out there when you're playing Pokemon Go. Make sure you mind your surroundings. Don't walk into traffic. We don't want to see anything tragic happening.
Yeah, no.
When it comes to this, it's a great app. Way to go, Nintendo, for getting people out there and exercising.
Yeah, Pokemon is not worth your life, but do have fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. And thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe and share us with your friends. And especially this episode, it's got a lot of cool stuff for all you Poke addicts and Pokemon masters.
But yeah, hopefully we'll be back next week with more information.
Yeah, see you guys later.
Bye.